What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast with me, Trevor, and Kyle. And my man, we have Kendal from Heavy as the Head back on the Pit Therapy to talk about the new EP. How have you been?
I've been good. Busy, and then more busy. So it's
Busy,
been good.
busy, and more busy. Sounds like the life of a dad.
Yeah,
We can relate to you.
correct.
So we talked to you. I mean, when was it? It was like September or October of last year
Yeah,
or
I think it was a
something.
year ago.
Oh, man. Yeah, even longer. How are like the holidays? How's the family doing? All that good stuff.
Good, man. I mean, it's the holidays. We went to Disney for Thanksgiving,
Oh, sick.
so that was incredible. If you ever get a chance to like get away from your family for Christmas or for a holiday like that, it was pretty great.
That's awesome. Kyle's a big Disney guy. We used to be Disney folk until we had too many kids, and now it's out of our price range.
Oh,
But
it's 100% out of my price range. Please don't think that I'm like this like guy that just goes to Disney all the time. That is
oh no,
not
I was
the
not
case.
insinuating that by any means, dude. But no,
But
we last time we were there, there's a weekend that you can go where it's Halloween, and then when you go on Sunday, it's Christmas. They do an
Yeah,
overnight change.
that's when we went. So we
You
went.
hit that?
Yeah.
Dude,
So we went
it's
like
so
for
cool.
on Thanksgiving, like the day of like right before Thanksgiving. Everything like was like Christmas stuff now, and so
Yeah.
it was cool. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah. Like the night before, we were like walking around, and like Jack and Sally were out there from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
And the next day we walk in and they have like the snow stuff all hanging down. The
Hmm.
kids loved it. It was awesome. So,
Yeah.
Kyle, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
no, I've always tried to live my life to be a person that like can enjoy Disney, not the one that can't. So
Yeah.
like we go and we have an absolute blast. Like we're there from open till close, and the times we've taken my kids, we get the like double wide strollers that can lean back, and my kids take naps, and me and my wife take turns going on rides and stuff. Like they're not slowing us down at all, man.
Well, we have a thing with me and my wife where so if I want to enjoy it, I don't know how much anything costs. So like it was funny, like whenever we'd like go out to a meal or something like that, because I'm the man, they always brought me the check, and I would just like slide it across the table to Brittany and be like, I don't want this.
Dude, that's the best
Yeah.
way to go. So
Yeah.
you're
Ignorance is
like,
bliss, baby.
we'll figure it out later. We'll pay for it
Yeah.
later. So, well, awesome. Well, dude, we're super stoked that you reached out to us. You guys have a new EP on the way. But first and foremost, Upstate Records.
Yeah.
How did this all happen, man?
So we have some good friends in two of their bands, Concrete and Chained. Concrete's from Troy, New York, and um, Chained is from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did a tour with Chained um, in October of this year, or last year, I guess. And they, um, you know, that was kind of a connection point. And we just reached out and sent them what we had demoed out, and they liked it. And the rest is, fairy tale history.
So just for I guess us and maybe listeners that aren't in bands, what does that do for you?
So it's really not a what they do for me. It's what we can do for each other. So at our level of band, I mean, it's just the cross pollination and the cross um, promotion, I guess you could say, of we promote them, they promote us, i.e., and in return, they, you know, all the other bands on Upstate, get to see who we are, and it leads them, just it people go down the rabbit hole, right? Um, the biggest thing that a label on our size will do is they'll finance basically like physical releases. Excuse me. So like our last label, they financed our getting our records pressed. Um, and then however you work it out, whatever the deal is, whatever like that. Upstate's doing the same thing with us. We're doing CDs for a physical release for this one, because kids are buying CDs again. And then so you can go to Upstate's website and you can currently, I don't know when this will come out, but you can go on there and you can pre-order the CD, and you can pre-order an exclusive T-shirt that has like the album art on it from Upstate Records, that you can only get from them. You're not going to get that from like a show or anything like that. You can get a CD from a show from the merch table, but that shirt is only from them.
Sick.
It,
I just got a new car. I have a CD player again. It's the best thing in the world.
Me personally, as a person, I don't get it, but whatever. If you guys want, our guitar player collects CDs, so every time we go to like a record shop on the road, he always, walks away with like 20 CDs, and it whatever, man. I don't
like
get it. If
$2
you want a
a
CD,
piece
you want a
now.
CD. You can take it. Sure.
Dude, there's something about it. And I mean, maybe it's just the age that we grew up in and stuff like that. But I messaged Kyle when I first got my car, and he's like, have fun, like near death experiences as you're switching the CD in your car again.
Yeah.
I jumped on the like vinyl bandwagon like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And so I've been buying a
I'm a
bunch of
vinyl
vinyls.
guy. I'm the same way. I like a record. I like the, sound of it. But
it's just having something in your hand again, I think, is bringing back this attachment to music as an art form, not just something you throw on
sure.
a streaming service, and like I get all the like posters from the vinyls and hang them up in my office, and so it's just cool to have something physical to look at and experience again, and you know uh people caring about the artwork now for their albums, because I feel like when you just put it up on streaming, no one cares. And so
Right.
like I love the album cover for what you're gonna for the EP, right? Because you've released a couple songs, but what's the like background on that? Because like I said, I think it's a very unique piece and I really like it.
I don't know. So it's a couple different fruitions of, and this is just what we finally landed on. Our good friend Matt he's designed all three of our releases so far. It's just something that he came up with. For some reason, I really liked the idea of a train car, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And he kind of took that and ran with it. And so in the inside of it also, the CD layout, which you can only get if you get the actual physical CD of it, all of my lyrics inside of it are handwritten too. So like instead of having it all typed up, I sat down and hand wrote all the lyrics, and then we, put them into the layout or something like that. I think that's really cool. And so like it doesn't look. I have very nice handwriting, so it looks like it's designed in like a typeface, but it is not. It is my handwriting. I wrote it. So I think that's really cool. But we just like the overall aesthetics of it. It's clean, I think. That's one of the big things that we always try and go for as a band. I think it defeats the whole purpose of having stuff that you don't know what it is. I want you to be able to look at that album, and we want you to be able to tell who the band is, what the EP's name is, what the songs are, what I'm saying. I want you to be able to very easily look at all that and know what all that is.
I love everything that you just said, and the handwriting the lyrics is awesome, and I'm really excited to look at it, because there are times where you'll open old CDs, vinyl or whatever, and it looks like handwritten, but it's just like you said, it's a typed out font that they just did something funky with. So little sneak peek right there. it looks like a country album, and you're wearing a Willie Nelson hat right now. Like, it's awesome. It is fantastic. So I'm super pumped for that. So let's talk about this. The first song that you guys released, For Your Loss.
Mm-hmm.
Last time you were on here, we did talk about Nick had passed away.
Yeah.
Right? And this song was for Nick, correct?
Yeah. So that was kind of our so most of the songs on this record Nick helped write.
Oh, okay.
So For Your Loss was one of them, and it was one of those things where we had written the riffs and the structure of the song and stuff like that, and like I just hadn't put lyrics to it yet. I'm always the last one to I'm always there for the writing process, but lyrics normally come last. And so it just worked out that it kind of just became an ode to Nick. And so yeah, I mean that's what it's about. I don't know what else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So he was part of the process of writing the majority of the songs. How's the process been writing at least a couple of them without Nick?
Great. I mean, obviously, we all miss Nick. I mean, that's not even a question. But Travis coming in and joining the band full time. So Travis filled in for Nick when Nick was getting sick and sicker. So it was kind of just a natural thing of like, well, you're not a fill-in anymore, Travis. You're part of the family. Because at Heavy as the Head, you're not an employee. We're family. That was stupid. But he
when you're here, you're family.
yeah, when you're here, you're family. Now he's brought such a great different energy to the band, to the writing process. He's just an overall great dude. We've gotten very, very lucky with this band as far as like we all care very much about each other. We all obviously when you go through a traumatic experience, it bonds you even closer. And Travis was a good friend of Nick's too, so it's not like he just came from. He's not like a hired gun. He's not like a somebody from the outside. He was already in our inner circle, so it just made sense. And like I was actually listening to it earlier because but the second single that we released, the Sons and Daughters song,
yeah,
that one riff in it that's like it's very like Every Time I Die-ish. That's a Travis riff, and it's my favorite riff on the entire EP. Like it's so good. I love it so much.
So I was going to ask you about that, and I'm hogging all the questions, Kyle. So
You're
you
good.
can jump off.
So
if you want.
also,
But,
I just listened. So I just finished listening to the ska episode.
oh yeah,
On the way home from work today, and Kyle was talking trash about how he doesn't like EPs, and if you've been around for 30 years, then you can do an EP. So like, I feel like it's just me and you talking, Trevor, since Kyle doesn't really like that kind
look,
of stuff.
My complaint about EPs is because I like the music and I want more.
Right.
That's
and
my
with
complaint.
EPs, I can give you an EP a year instead of doing a 3-year touring cycle on an LP.
Yeah.
Also, not all of us are made out of money, dog. We don't have enough money to go into the studio and record full-length records.
I just like music, man. I just like music. So it's like, I don't know. It's too much foreplay. I want to go to home base, Come on.
Leave them wanting more, baby. You got to go like 80% in.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump in because Trevor has been hogging. One thing I really liked, because I went back and was listening through like, the rest of your guys' stuff and, you were kind enough to give us a little sneak peek of the EP and stuff. And thank you for that.
Yeah.
One thing though, I've really, I guess two things. One, I just want to say, I really appreciate that you don't shy away from the politicalness of what you guys like your lyrical content, right? Like I
So
appreciate that you're very upfront and in your face about it.
there's no political messages. This is the problem. Is I don't talk anything about politics. Talk a lot about, you know, police violence or idol worship or human rights or whatever. Those are not political issues, which drives me absolutely crazy. And that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is that like, well, if you're a Republican, then you hate, minorities, or if you're a Democrat, are this bleeding heart liberal, and it should not be like that. Human rights are human rights.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, yes,
No, I mean, yeah,
I appreciate your sentiment of like,
the
yeah,
unfortunate
very in
part
your face
is
about
it
it.
is unfortunately politics in
Yeah,
today's world. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
what sucks. You're right. Like you're right. Your message is not political. It's human decency and what we
right,
should all strive to be just because we're human beings on this planet.
yeah,
It gets weaponized for political purposes.
which is a
Exactly.
shame.
But I respect that, right? Because I think not all hardcore, and there's a time and place for like just angry stuff all the time, whatever. We're fans of that, but there's also a time where like, yeah, people need to like this stuff needs to be said. We can't shy away from that. My
I think
question though with some of this is it a conscious effort though to make it so plain in your guys's like process? Because there's some bands that I feel like kind of flirt with it or maybe are too abstract and you have to think about it, but you guys are very like, there it is. This is where I stand.
no, it's not really a conscious thing. It's me being lazy, and just writing about what's going on, and how I'm feeling, um, because we all have feelings. Um, no, it's just kind of evolved into that. I think we've talked about. I can't write about my girlfriend being mean to me, or I can't sing about going to the pizza parlor. That's not what I do.
Come on, bro, throw some
And
pop punk riffs in there.
yeah, I mean, and not taking away from like what that is, but
Yeah.
that's just not. It's just not my writing style. And so, luckily, I'm in a band with people that are okay with me saying those type of things in the microphone. Um, I also think it's a huge disservice to have a microphone or have any sort of platform and not use it, um, to help people that don't have microphones. I'm not saying I'm some social justice worker or hero. I'm not saying that at all. It's just uh, you know imagine. I think the most punk rock thing, right, is going to the Grammys and instead of wearing a Gucci suit, you wear a shirt that says "Free Palestine." Right? That's what should be happening,
Right.
but it's not, which is a shame.
So, piggybacking off of what Kyle said, though, I'm in the same boat because, like, I really do appreciate just you said it's lazy writing. It's not lazy writing, though. It's thoughts that everyone has. And to have someone else vocalize that in a way that you can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
it is something extremely beneficial. And again, thank you for the sneak peek of the EP because one of the songs on there, song number 4, there's this lyrical content about gods and seeing yourself and not being like on this pedestal. I'm not a god, right?
Yeah,
And it's one of those things that I've actually recently thought a lot about. You know what I mean? Not that I hold myself in high standards or anything like that, but just the thought of these people who do think they're mightier than thou, things along
yeah,
those lines and stuff like that. And just to be able to have someone saying those things and in a very simple way, it's it's a it's a great
It's
album.
effective.
It's
Yeah.
a great album for you to have some self-reflection. And so it's turned out
100%.
fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So enough.
It's enough compliments for now. We'll just
Yeah,
talk shit on him the rest of the
let's pump the brakes a
time.
little bit.
Listen, Kendall, you were the first one that Kyle's butthole comments started coming out. Just give it a matter of time. It's coming.
I am making a conscious effort to not refer to buttholes
Talk
with
about
you on here.
You weirdo.
Yeah.
So back to what you were talking about riff wise, sons and daughters. I was actually going to bring this up because
Yeah.
this EP does have a little bit of a different feel to it. I
Mhm.
really like all your old stuff, but this one does feel a little bit different. You get that Southern feel in there. You get a little bit of chaos in there.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
That's
it's
Travis.
just, oh, dude.
Yeah, he's such a great addition to this writing process and this band. I can't speak high enough praises of Travis. I love my
So
little dude.
does he have a background in that kind of stuff, or did he just come and say, "Dude, I've been
This
thinking
is
about
what I
this
want to
sick."
do.
So Travis is as eclectic as it comes. So Travis is currently in a band that is like a female fronted hardcore band. He's in another band that's called PFT, which is PFFFFT exclamation point, I believe. Where it's just him and a drummer, and it's like I don't know, like a grind band sort of. And then he is also in a band called Banana Slamma.
Yeah.
Highly suggest you looking that up. Where they all dress like apes, not monkeys, apes. And it's like a metal punk thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's crazy. It's Travis. So like he's all over the place, man. And that's that's one of the parts that I'd love. I mean, this band has always been we all are kind of all over the place, which I kind of like. So we focus it into one, whatever heavy as the head is.
Nice. I really like that, like, most of the songs are like 2.5, 3 minutes long, but then right in the middle, you drop, what is it, 35 seconds of just heavy.
So that was Mern's idea. Mern listens to a lot of weird hardcore too. And he listens to a lot of stuff, a lot of bands that are like all their songs are like 15 seconds. Um, talk about Kyle being upset about not having a full record. How about not a full song?
Yeah.
So we were like, we really want to do this on this EP where we just write like a quick, short little song, and that's what it ended up being. So I really like that song too.
Oh, I freaking love it. Fast in your face, just to a
Yeah.
brutal breakdown.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm a dumbass. Like, I sat there and I listened to it and I kept hearing you say HITH. And I'm like, what the hell are they saying? And it took me until I was watching the music video for Your Loss. And in the
Right.
background, you have the big thing that says HITH. Like,
yeah.
it's
That makes
heavy
sense.
as the head. Come on, man. Like, I was so stupid. But like, I just sat there and I'm like, what is that? What could that be? What is this acronym? I'm like, I gotta ask
Hiths.
Kendall about this.
Never heard of Hith.
Well, at first I thought you were like spelling like shit or something. I'm like, did I hear that wrong? Like, what was it? But no, I'm an idiot. So it was great.
So how does I mean, we've touched on it a little bit. You said that you kind of wait, towards the end to do lyrics and things like that. Do you already have stuff written out that you try and fit into these songs, or is it kind of a process where like you're sitting there listening and then you're kind of fitting stuff into it?
Yeah, sometimes I'll have lyrics written and I try and like force them into the song, and that doesn't always work out. Uh, what normally happens is we'll sit around and we'll write, and I'm normally part of the writing process too. And I'm not by any means like a musician. Those dudes are incredible at their crafts. But you know, I'm really good at the like little extra pieces of like, oh, we should like pause here, or we should, slow down here, stuff like that, because all I think about is like crowd reaction whenever we write. And so like if something is super fast the entire song, I'm like, well, hold on guys. This doesn't give any chance for anybody to do anything. Um, so once we're done with that, normally I'll come in with an idea of what I want to write about. And then it just normally just comes kind of, it just happens. The lines and lyrics kind of just match the song as we go along. Um, Sometimes I won't even, some of the songs I wrote like half the song in the studio because I didn't have anything nailed down yet, which was nerve wracking, but that's kind of
So
how it happens.
is it pretty easy once you have that idea in your head, and let's say you have like the catch line, right?
Yeah.
And is it pretty easy to build off of that for you? Or is it something that you like to refine over and over?
Yeah, I think so. And I think um, what kind of stinks is some of the songs, um, like writing the lyrics in the studio kind of bite you in the butt because like, we'll record it, but then we'll go play it live like a bunch before it's even released. And I'm like, oh, like live, I put a little, little zhuzh here or whatever like that. And I'm like, oh, that works way better. Crap, it's already recorded. So now I've got to do it the other way. So hopefully we can, it's not a we do a little bit better. It's me like sometimes I'll just have writer's block and I just can't put lyrics to songs because those dudes have also been playing those songs for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And they're like, well, we're done writing this one. We're moving on to the next one. I'm like, oh, wait, guys, can we actually play this same song over and over and over again so I can put lyrics to it?
So how is the live reaction to the new stuff?
Good. We've played a couple shows with them. We just last weekend we played a couple shows in North Carolina, and the reaction was good. I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm always surprised when anyone shows up to any of my shows. So like, the fact of like there was some kids in North Carolina actually singing the lyrics, and I'm like, what do you do? How do you know the lyrics? And like I was like getting mad that they like stole my notebook and they had like it. I was like, how do you know these things? I don't know if that's just like a thing that I do of like I just expect no one to ever listen to anything that I've done, I don't know.
So if that's the case, then when you're up on stage, what do you enjoy seeing? Do you enjoy just seeing the mosh? Do you like the sing-alongs? Or are you like, dude, like back off. This is my time to shine. This is Kendall
No.
up here, not you.
As an egotistical frontman, having someone sing your lyrics is literally the coolest thing in the world. Being the guy that incites violence is the coolest thing in the world. It's so much. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just my dumb monkey brain that's like making people like freak out. I love it. I think it's cool. I'm fans of all sorts of, moshing or whatever like that. All right, caveat with that. One, don't take your shirt off at a Heavy as the Head show. No one likes the guy that takes his shirt off and tries to mosh. Okay, don't do that at one of our shows. But then when we played in uh, Asheville Saturday, there was the push mosh is alive and well in Asheville, and the dudes that were push moshing were giant fellas and didn't really give anybody else a chance to like do anything else. And I think the vibes were a little bit off, but it was fine. I'm never going to tell anybody how to express themselves when they listen to music, so it was still cool.
as a kid, it's your obligation. If you want to go swing, go swing. And if
Yeah.
you get pushed over, you get pushed over. We all experienced it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when it's like an 8-foot tall guy that's one giant muscle that takes his shirt off and it's got, bondage pants from Hot Topic and he's like pushing everybody around, most people are steering clear.
Yeah.
Gotta take the risk. At least
Right.
one of you has to be the sacrificial lamb.
Right.
I'll remember that, Trevor. I'll just throw you in front of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll push me in the way.
So it's been like about a year, I think, since we chatted. So like tour wise, what have you done the last year? What are some stuff that stood out to you? We obviously want to get into what you've got coming this year, but what was some good experiences with Heavy's the Head in the last year?
Yeah. So we did another, it was like 10 days, a week with 2 weekends, with, Chained from North Carolina. And we kind of made a dip down south and then went all the way up to like Michigan. We played in Ohio. If you ever get a chance to go to Lima, Ohio, or Lima, Ohio, don't. We played for 7 people.
Oh,
And those 7 people were the 4 members of Chained, the promoter, and 2 dudes that rode their bike by the venue. And we're like, what's going on in here? It was weird. But so that was really fun. That was a good time. And then recording the EP was what we did, kind of last year. And then we playing here, there, everywhere else. That was like the only big tour that we kind of did. And I don't know, it was fun. It was a good time. I mean, I always have a good time. I mean, I don't care. Even in Ohio, we still I was still with my guys. I was still with my best friends. We were chilling. We had a day off when we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
that's sick.
which is where I got this hat. And which is such a cool, trying to tell normal people that yelling into a microphone and playing punk rock or hardcore or metal or whatever it was, got me to Cleveland and got me into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for free. And I got to go hang out and be a touring band going to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was such a highlight of the whole day off. We were just looking at each other, pinching each other, like, what are we doing here? It was such a great time, man.
That's awesome.
So what's on the docket for 2025?
Global domination. I don't know
Nice.
what is it, Pinky in the Brain, where he's like, tonight we take over the world.
I've heard that forever. That's awesome.
Yeah. We have, so in June, we have a short run with a band called Earth Burial. They're from Richmond, but their drummer lives in Boston. One of their guitar players lives in LA. They're from all over the place, but they're really good. So we're going to do that. If we can all get our passports straight, I think the goal is to dip into Canada a little bit. I don't know. We'll see where the road takes us. I mean, we don't have anything huge planned, but we'll see what happens after the EP comes out.
West Coast, upstate. Looking at you guys. Fund the West Coast.
Yeah. That would be the only way we could get out there. Yeah. We've got some friends in California. We've got some friends and bands out there that have said they could, help us out or whatever like that. It's just a matter of getting out there. I mean, plane tickets are expensive, dog. And in the last couple months, they've been real dangerous.
That's true.
But
that's very true.
Nothing. Never say never. With this project, man, the Heavy as a Head started out with just a let's jam and maybe we'll play a show once or twice. And then it's turned into one of the most active bands that I've ever been in. So who knows what tomorrow will bring, you know?
Well, we will keep pitching the idea. We will keep,
Yeah.
we'll do a
We've got,
GoFundMe
I
for
have a
Heavy
good
as the Head.
friend down in Florida, JR, that just started playing music again. And one of the dudes he's in a band with is from Puerto Rico.
Oh, sick.
And he hit me up and was like, "Hey, would you guys want to do, go to Puerto Rico?" I was like, "Absolutely." So that might be on the docket, which would be insane. But yeah, I mean, we'll see
If you
where
go
it goes.
talk to Kyle, because if you go to Puerto Rico, apparently you have to play on top of little shops like Bad Bunny, because that's the way to do it.
I'm down.
He did like a free show on top of the overhead of a gas station, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Bad Bunny, Heavy as the Head. There's
You
really
You
could
could
no
open
difference.
for him, dude.
Same
It's like
I
the
mean-
same crowd.
Right. Yeah. I wish.
Those crypto bros won't know what hit them. So.
Yeah.
This idea of crypto, bro. Okay, whatever. We don't have to get into that right now. But dude, if you do go play Puerto Rico, let me know. Maybe I'll fly out.
That'd be sick.
Maybe me and Trevor will show up there, you know?
I think there's a good chance of Texas at some point. Maybe over the winter.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well,
let me know on that one. So
if you do make Texas, I can probably swing down to Texas. We can make that
Sick.
one happen. I've got a place to stay if I go to Texas. So just saying.
yeah, it's not here though. After the last time, he's not welcome back.
Dang, dude.
So I have one more question about the EP.
Yeah.
You guys redid. Well, I don't know if you redid it.
Yeah, we
But
redid
Broken Body Beaten
Broken
Man.
Body Beat Man. Yeah.
Talk about it. Why? I
Um,
by the way, huge fan. And I think it's a fantastic closer, but it was also fantastic on No More Time as an opener.
So that's been our set closer since forever. I love it as a set closer. It gets the crowd involved at the set close. And we kind of just made it. Not a lot of people have heard No More Time. And that's not, and No More Time, we recorded it with a guy that we're good friends with, but we weren't super stoked on none of us are really super stoked on how that EP sounds. And so we really wanted to redo it because we're going to keep playing it as our closer. And we wanted to record it where people would actually hear it. And it sounds somewhat decent. So that's just why we re-recorded it.
It doesn't sound somewhat decent. It sounds fantastic. Like
yeah, so
it turned out really good.
Shout out to James and Cabin in the Woods studio, which is where we recorded this. Which is actually where, I don't know if you follow Andy Williams from Every Time I Die.
Oh yeah.
Atomic Rule. I don't know if you saw they were in the studio here recently.
Okay.
That's Cabin in the Woods. That's where we recorded at.
Oh, nice. Sick.
And so James Henderson recorded us, and it was the best time I've had recording an EP. His vibes are great. He's such an encouraging guy. I really don't like my voice recorded. I just super self-conscious about it. And so like the whole time I'm recording, he's like doing backflips in his producer's chair, like freaking out about it. He's like, "This sounds great, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "I don't know, man." But he was a great cheerleader, and he made everybody in that, everybody that recorded with him felt super comfortable. I cannot express to you enough how much I suggest, if you're in a band, go to Cabin in the Woods Studios. He was great.
So where's that out of? Is it in Virginia as well?
It's in Richmond.
Okay.
But the reason that one of the reasons that he calls it Cabin in the Woods Studios, well, two reasons. One, the studio itself is kind of like down a dirt road, and it's kind of surrounded by, it looks like it's a cabin in the woods. But his whole setup is also mobile. And so he can pack up his stuff, and what he likes to do, what he's done with his band, he sings in a band called Dark Waters. And what they like to do is go to like the mountains and rent, like a big cabin. Because, if you go to a log cabin out in the mountains or whatever, the acoustics are bonkers.
Yeah.
And so he likes to record at places like that too, which we thought about doing. We just financially just didn't make sense. But so that's one of the reasons that he calls it Cabin in the Woods is he'll travel to you if you want to rent a cabin in the woods somewhere and do it. So it's really cool.
Sick. That's way sick.
It was way cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So the EP comes out March 21st.
Yeah.
So this is dropping on March 10th. So it's going to be a week. Like you got 2 weeks. You get in 2 weeks. So super
For Your
pumped
Lost
for it.
and Sons and Daughters are already out though. Go listen to that. Go watch the videos on YouTube. Or not. I don't care. Whatever you want to do with your life.
No,
I'm
dude.
I'm not here to tell you.
Go pay attention. HITH is in the background.
Yeah, HITH
Just
stands
remember
for
that.
Heavy as the Head. If you don't know what that stands for.
It's not Mike Tyson trying to say his.
So we actually have a design that we need to make that it's got like Mike Tyson yelling next to a cobra, like a snake, and it just says Hith on it.
Hith.
Yeah.
Dude,
we need to make
that. I will buy that shirt.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Sons and Daughters out now. For Your Loss out now. All streaming services. Go hit those guys up, or go hit those songs up. March 21st, new EP. EP's For Your Loss as well.
Yeah.
Kendal, you're the man. Anything else? Anything else that we can help promote for you right now?
No, go to Upstate Records website, which I don't even know what Upstate Records NY.com, I think. You can pre-order the CD, you can pre-order a shirt from them, or you can just come to one of our shows and buy a CD and buy a shirt from us. But yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in all honesty, like I even made the joke to you that like I was blown away by like the songs on the EP. I'm not just trying to butter you up or anything. I genuinely mean it, man. It's awesome music.
I really appreciate
big fans
that.
of you, big fans of you of the band. So
thank you.
People really need to check it out because it's just good stuff. Good solid music.
Thanks. Good old toe tapping music.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He said butter instead of lubing you up. So
I mean, butter is lube, but
Okay.
Right.
Butter's bread.
Awesome.
I still did not make a butthole joke. I just want to say that.
You're doing great.
One in the book.
We appreciate you. We will catch you soon. We'll make sure that we share this all when it drops. But go check out Heavy as the Head. Thanks, man.
Be excellent to each other.
See ya.